How do you get more successful at hunting? Well, a lot of that is in the preparation. That's on this episode of Gun Talk Hunt. I'm KJ. You found the right place. We go all over this little blue orb, sharing stories and tactics about chasing wild game. Now, let's get on the hunt. All right, welcome in all you Gun Talk Hunters. I'm your host, KJ, and welcome into another episode. This episode is brought to you by Savage Arms, Timney Triggers, Remington Ammo, Range Ready Studios, and Vortex. We have a tremendous panel, and today we're jumping into high stakes, heavy packs, strategies and stories that make the hunt. And this is a great panel for this because we have everyone ranging from editors to outdoorsmen, to guides, to industry professionals. We have it all on this panel. And first, we're going to jump in with one of my favorite NRL shooters on the circuit, Mr. David Draper. David, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for having me on here, KJ. And I don't know if my name and NRL should go together yet. I'm still struggling in that front.
No, it 100% goes in there because you and I shot our very first NRL match together, and you outshot me, and it was awesome to see because we took a course and then we jumped in, but really it's all about, I don't know, how would you describe NRL Hunter matches?
Oh, I mean, it's as close to real hunting you can get in a competitive situation, I'd say. But it's just as much about time and gear management as it is accuracy, I would say. And that's where I fail. It's a yard sale when that timer goes off for me. Gear goes everywhere. I freak out. It's not good.
I wouldn't
ugly
say
situation.
freak out. I think you're over exaggerating just a touch.
Oh no, you didn't see me in Laramie.
Well, in Laramie, I heard it was super windy. Like it was just adverse conditions, is what I heard.
40 mile an hour gusts. So the wind calls were challenging.
Oh my God!
Which oddly enough, I did really good on the wind calls in Laramie because I live where the wind blows 40 all the time.
Right. That's why Oklahoma shooters are so good, is because they deal with the wind all the time. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
That's just a part of life. But as we talk about trends and topics in big game hunting and where we go, and what are you seeing as far as trends? Because in my mind, I see NRL Hunter as a growing trend in our industry, just because it prepares people for hunting. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I would agree. You and I got an NRL Hunter, I don't know, probably 13, 14 months ago. I shot 3 matches this year, and I do think that is a growing trend. Obviously, long-range shooting has been really popular over the past 4 years. The technology's gotten better. Gun builds have gotten better. Ammo's gotten better. Everybody has a ballistic app on their phone now and can dial out to, whatever range they want and can do so fairly accurately. The Garmin Zero came out, and now there's not a reason not to know your muzzle velocity. That really takes away that. So, technology and the technology surrounding long-range shooting is really what I see over the past probably 3 to 5 years that's really shown some growth. Which long-range shooting, long-range hunting, that's a whole separate hour-long conversation we can have. But I think for NRL Hunter and that long-range shooting, it prepares you for the field like nothing else I've ever done. It's not just sitting on a bench and shooting static targets. It's figuring out range, figuring out ballistics, figuring out your windage, and being comfortable in a high-pressure situation, which is what hunting is and what hunting should be. So
yeah, and you're doing it all under a 4-minute, or if you shoot teams, a 6-minute clock. I mean, you're engaging targets, and you're engaging from different shooting positions. With that comes what we start to think about is gear. What gear makes the hunt? What gear has helped you? So, because you have hunted since joining an NRL match and competing in that.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't going to be all about NRL. I promise we're going to go more places than this. But what gear are you seeing that really have transferred out into the field?
One thing that I've gear and skills wise both is, and I saw especially this year in NRL Hunter, was double pull bipods. Bipods that get you taller than you would like a bipod. You're going to be shooting prone. Double pole, you can shoot sitting sometimes, depending on the situation. So you see a lot of guys shooting double pole, and I've heard a lot of guys carrying those in the field. I mean, the problem is you're starting to add weight to your firearm.
I'm
But
doing
so double
triple
pole
pull.
bipods, yeah. And then the skill is rear tripod support, which I still struggle with, but I started shooting that about halfway through the summer or halfway through my match season, and it changed the game for me by learning rear tripod support. And I thought, is there a way to use this in the field? And I think in certain situations there are. If you're packing a tripod anyway to glass from,
Yep.
then there's no reason not to use it as a rear support in certain situations. So I think skills wise and gear wise, that's what I'm seeing a big thing is just stable supporting positions that are using everything you have.
Yeah. And there's no better way to get into those positions than just to practice it. And I'm not the best at going out and practicing those. And sometimes it happens on the clock. And during a match or on the hunt is a bad place to improvise. You're not learning new skills. There's no way you're learning a new skill and just going, oh, I saw this on YouTube, I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
That doesn't work like that.
No, not at all. But kind of, I mean, one of the reasons I stuck with NRL Hunter after that first match, and you're being generous at saying I outshot you. I didn't have fully functional gear, but my gear functioned a little better than yours. But one of the reasons like in the past few years, I've found my shooting skills have degraded. Some of it's age related, vision related, but also I just got lazy. I was shooting off the bench. I was shooting for tiny little groups because that's what I do for work.
Yeah.
Like I'm reviewing rifles, so I'm shooting for tiny little groups. And I wasn't shooting off tripods. I wasn't shooting off bipods. I wasn't shooting unsupported or field expedient rests. I was purely shooting off a bench. And then when I got in the field, I had some misses that I shouldn't have had on game animals. Unfortunately, had some woundings I shouldn't have had on game animals because I let my skills degrade. And NRL Hunter forces me to get back into hunting skills, not bench shooting skills.
Man, that is a great segue. Really appreciate you joining us, David. That's a great segue into Tristan Davies, who's in the field. He is a guide. And when I say a guide, I'm not talking a guy who just sits you in a stand and then walks away. The dude is on the side of the mountain going up and down like slab rock. I mean, Tristan, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. So what are you seeing? And we talk about transferable skills from shooters, from a competition into the field. What are you seeing when hunters show up to your camp? Are you seeing better skilled shooters these days?
Not really, to be honest with you. Most guys will shoot their rifle in, and they don't really prepare too much. I mean, David hunted with me last year. He obviously knows what he's doing. But a lot of the guys don't really practice off tripods. They will be shooting on a bench. I've had some guys that have never even shot prone before, which is crazy to me. But so I kind of try to help them out when they're when we take them to the range for the first time, show them some things. It really pays off when a guy knows their rifle. So yeah, it really pays off.
Are you like, so you just debunked like my whole like hope for us as hunters and shooters that we would actually prepare, and especially like guys are paying money for these hunts. Like they're paying high dollar to go have this experience, and you're telling me that more than likely they're not doing their due diligence and practice.
No, not. I mean, some guys are, definitely. Like I had one guy last year that really honed in on it, practiced all summer, but some guys just don't do it. I mean, a lot of people are really busy and they don't really make it a priority. So I kind of get it, but they should make it a priority if they're going on a once in a lifetime elk hunt or New Zealand red stag, that sort of thing. So
what are you doing, people?
Yeah.
Get out, like practice. If you're going to spend the money, you might as well practice. Don't buy better gear. So let's transition to a little gear talk. So what are you seeing hunters show up with in your camp that you can spot it and you go, okay, I'm going to be okay?
Well, when a guy starts running a mill scope, if they know their CDS, like if they're running a loophole scope, they have a CDS on it, they know how to run it, that sort of thing. It just, I don't know. It's just kind of how that goes. If I can take them to the range and they can start cracking shots at 400 plus yards and they feel confident, it makes me a lot more confident in their abilities. So that helps a lot. But yeah, I mean,
Man,
it just,
I would say that as a hunter, if you're showing up, do you get a lot of hunters contacting you before hunts saying, what gear should I buy?
yeah. Like for rifles themselves, not really, but for gear, like hunting related gear, like optics and clothing and packs and all that stuff, yeah. Scopes sometimes, rifles not necessarily. Most of the guys are running like
Yeah.
regular stuff, Rugers, Bergaras, that sort of thing. So
what would you say? All right, I'm trying to think of how to put this because I'm always one of those guys that I will call everybody. I will call everybody. Like if I'm going on a hunt, I'm like, okay, what do I not need to bring? What do I need to bring? And then I start trimming my pack from there. And I try to trim out weight because I don't want the guide, like if I go on a guided hunt, to go, yeah, you definitely won't need this. And they start stripping my stuff and going, this guy has no clue what he's doing. And I wish he would have just called me. What are a few pieces of gear that guys typically bring that they do not need?
So in where I guide in Colorado, a guy will probably never need a spotting scope. I always have one. If a guy brings a tripod, that'd be awesome, especially if he knows how to run it, but I always bring one anyway. Like, honestly, all a guy really needs is a good rifle, good pack, and good boots, and he'll be good to go. So as long as he knows how to use those, he'll be set. Anything else is, you don't really need. Like an 8-pair, 10-power binos, that's all.
So you've guided all over the world. Where would you say, if a guy was to say, you know what, I've got one hunt that I want to buy put it on my bucket list, where would you probably recommend that you've been to and hunted?
Oh, well, I haven't guided all over, but I would have to say Tar and Chamois, New Zealand's pretty top of the list. It's physically terrible sometimes, but it's awesome. So it's just a good time. I mean, you're out in the backcountry for days and days and get rained on. It sucks, but it's fun. So that'd be my answer.
You sold it. Like you just like you sold me on going chasing tar in New Zealand. I don't mind the suck, and I think that scares some guys away, but I think there's a lot of folks that would appreciate an experience like that. Because I think I've seen some of your videos on Instagram and stuff of like helicoptering in and doing all that kind of cool stuff. Are you gonna do that again this year?
Yep, I'll be back. Well, I'll go over there May or March through probably June next year. I do it every year, a couple months. It's a good time, especially in the helicopter. You get a lot of experience jumping out of them and stuff. It's a blast. So I love every minute of it.
I told you, the dude is everywhere, and I love it, man. Tristan, thanks for joining me. All right, guys. Hey, we're going to jump in here real quick, and we're going to come back with more gear and game talk right after these messages. Looking to trim a few LBs out of your pack or just your firearm? Check out the Savage 110 Carbon Predator. 2 swing swivel studs, matte black carbon steel receiver, 2-piece Weaver style bases, proof research barrel. Yeah, it's carbon wrap, so that's where some of the weight savings is going to come. And you won't be disappointed because they offer it in a lot of different variations. 6mm arc, 223 Remington, 22-250, a favorite of mine, 308, 65 Creedmoor, and 300 Blackout. Now, you're talking about weight. You're talking about, well, how much really is it going to weigh? Trust me, you're going to be able to carry this thing all day. It's under that 7-pound range, so I promise you it's accurate too. So trust Savage 110 Carbon Predator for all your weight savings. Tired of your range time being just mag dumps and Instagram flexing? Enter Range Ready Training, where Director of Awesomeness and everything else, Chris Sereno, turns keyboard warriors into actual warriors. Or something like that. Pretty dang close, I would say. Yeah, the guy's been there, done that. Pistol, check. Rifle, check. Yeah, we got it all. Force on force, we do that every now and then too. Bring your bruises, instructor development. Welcome to the Thunderdome of Learning. It's more than training, it's range ready because real life doesn't come with a respawn button. Feel like your trigger's holding you back more than your ex? Fix that with the Timney Alpha competition trigger for the Ruger RXM. It's got a crisp 3-pound pull, no adjustments, no drama, just pure, smooth performance. It installs easier than IKEA furniture and comes fully hand-assembled, tested, and calibrated by real humans, not robots or over-caffeinated raccoons. Made in the USA and backed by a legendary lifetime warranty, yes, it will make you more accurate. The rest is on you. Hey, get your heads up. Heads up, right up here. Tactical treasure hunters, beware. Optics Planet just became your new favorite adult toy store for gear. Let's get that out of the way. Want scopes, red dots, night vision, and stuff totally you probably don't need but will absolutely buy anyway? Yeah, I thought so. Use promo code GUNTALK at checkout and get 5% off your order. That's right, 5%. Not 2, not 3, 5. Like the fingers you'll use to type that code in while pretending this wasn't my idea. So go to Optics Planet, check it out, enter code GUNTALK, and get your 5% off. Need a laser rangefinder that doesn't guess? Get the Vortex Ranger HD 3000 with 3,000-yard ranging capability, a red display you can actually read in any light, and HCD mode for angle compensation distance. It's like having a spotter in your pocket. Hey, here's a pro tip for you. Before your hunt, you need to go out. You need to range landmarks like trees or rocks around your blind so you're not scrambling when that game shows up. Built rugged, backed by the Vortex VIP warranty, it's the Ranger HD 3000. Looking to level up your hunt and tighten up those groups? Well, look no further than Remington Ammo. Yeah, the stuff in the green box is super accurate, and they've got everything from hunting ammo all the way to NRL, like match ammo. So check those out. Remington Premier, from Premier Tip AccuTip to match grade ammunition, all in that green box you love, you trust, and you adore. Find it all at remington.com. All right, we're back. Neil Sanders, one of my favorite guys from SDS Imports. Neil, how you doing, man? How's Texas?
It's hot.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, well, I've been just got back from a road trip, 23 days long. So it was hot everywhere, but it's even hotter here. So
I don't know.
It's good to be home briefly. I'll be in Kansas City tomorrow. Yeah. It's that time of year, show season.
Now, it's show season, which is good because a lot of new products are coming out, and you've got a lot of items to roll out. I'm not sure if we almost talked about one last time, but we weren't quite there yet. Are you about ready to start talking about a little bit a new product for hunting?
Yes,
we
are.
Okay.
And
do you have it?
And David saw it. Yeah.
Finally.
David saw it last week. It's we're really excited about it. So it's under our Spandau brand, a new bolt action hunting rifle built on a 700 platform. It's a blueprinted 700 action. So you don't like our wood stock, you want a carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Great. Stick one on it. You want a different trigger. Great. Guess what? You got 100 to choose from.
Yeah.
So we're excited about it.
Dude, that's awesome. We've had one down here similar to that, and they shoot. I will tell you that. Now,
yeah.
You have the new Spandau. How did you get an opportunity to blend like your knowledge of hunting into that gun? Because from what I see, it's a very traditional like firearm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my under SDS, we have T-Sauce, which are 1911s. Everybody knows those, and Tokarev shotguns, and Mac, which is kind of one of our hot brands, whether 1014s and our double stacks. And I've been working on this for 3 years. And from my experience with all the time at Thompson Center, when we launched the first bolt action Thompson Center ever came out with the Icon, I was very involved in that process. So I knew what I think the consumer wanted. And there's not another, out of the box 700 that you can just go find in any store without paying big bucks. There's a lot of guys that are making them that are built on a 700 action, and they're awesome, but you're going to be paying well over $1,000 for them.
Oh yeah.
And we wanted to bring one that was a true 700 clone, as you want to call it, and get that in there for your everyday guy to get started on, with a lot of features for a very, reasonable, affordable price.
That's huge in today's market, especially when you talk about, lightweight rifles, lightweight gear, price starts to increase, and then you've kind of placed yourself outside the realm of like what a normal person is going to be paying. I did not know you were behind one of my favorite guns, the Icon. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny story, maybe for a different time, but we literally, Winchester quit making their Model 70, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were gonna, close the factory and do whatever. And we were all at SCI in Reno, and said we should make a bolt action. And literally 63 days later, we had the Icon.
It is one of my guns that I'm currently in debate with Mr. David Draper on whether or not I should take it to Canada. So there's a debate going on there, and I have it in 300 Win Mag, and that gun flat out shoots.
Yeah,
it does,
yeah.
Man.
It's it was, in my opinion, it was a little ahead of its time. And worked a lot with guys that really understand long range shooting. George Gardner, talking to him every couple of days. Well, what else do we need to do?
Yeah.
What else can we do with it? Which is really not necessary in some ways for a hunting rifle,
right?
But we wanted it. And then spending too much time on sniper's hide. Getting way in the weeds,
Yep.
With stuff, with 5R rifling and aluminum bedding block built into the stock and all those things. So yeah. So couldn't do that because the Icon is its own action.
Yeah.
But what's another tried and true action that's out there, and the most adaptable platform, I think, in rifles today, and that was the 700, and that's what we did with the RL is make one.
That is the standard to which most all bolt actions, if you're out there and you're gonna alter that in any way, whether it's the trigger, I mean, is gonna be the main thing, but that's the platform to have. That is by far. And when are those gonna be available?
We'll be shipping them in October.
Really? And where the barrels? Are you guys making the barrels?
Yeah, our factory in Turkey is. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. All right. Neil, I appreciate you joining us. Hey, we're going to head over now to one of my favorite people, Kalvyn Ferronato. Kalvyn, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing better now that I'm talking to you. Those other guys, they can head out. No, they're great to talk to, but I will tell you this. When you talk about crafting a story around your big game hunt, I always kind of look to you because the PR game, the marketing game, the storytelling aspect of what makes a good hunt. Can you give a little bit of background on kind of your hunting experience and then how you're able to blend that into storytelling?
Yeah, well, I think every hunt doesn't start at the actual hunt itself. You're going to be at home. You're trying to pile up all your gear. And one of the biggest things is to know what your gear is. You need to be familiar with it. Just like Tristan was saying, you got to be able to shoot that gun. You need to know what your scope is. You need to know what your bow is and how to actually use your products that you're going to have. And it doesn't just go into the firearms or the tools that you're going to use to actually take your final shot. It's everything down to what gloves you're going to bring, even what the weather is going to be like, and planning out even into spring or from spring, sometimes even the holiday before or the season before. So you really dial in your gear, and from there you're able to be like, okay, I can plan it, I can get everything situated, and then figure out where the next steps are. So that usually means, okay, we're going to go after elk this year. We're going to go shoot tar out of a helicopter. But we need to make sure that we know everything that's going in and try and prepare yourself the best that you can. Nothing's ever going to go exactly 110%. I've learned anything in my hunting experience. It's never going to go exactly how you plan. Hell, I've been stuck on mountains. I've been full draw at a beautiful animal and I can't pull the trigger. There's no way. There's no way I'm letting that arrow go because I'm having bull fever or buck fever. But there's always something that's going to happen that you can't plan for. But being able to at least be familiar with your gear and knowing heading into it, okay, this is what we're going after. This is the e-scout that I've done. This is the actual place that I've been to. And I can at least frame where I'm going and heading, planning.
I do find that the more adverse conditions or the pitfalls that you might encounter, typically that kind of leads into the best stories. If the story was, well, I walked to the blind, I climbed up the blind, sun came up, deer was there, shot the deer. It was a great hunt. I think Evolve and went that way. I think we would, most of the storytellers, David Draper and all of us, we'd probably be out of jobs if everything went perfectly. But it just isn't that way. And I think I like your idea of like a lot of it happens beforehand in the gear, because I'm kind of a gearhead. Like I love gear. And Gunpowder Inc., who you work with, works with a lot of different companies that offer like high-end quality gear. So what are you seeing coming out of these companies now in 2025, going into 2026, that really are going to turn hunters into maybe a better predator?
I think that one, for example, Sitka does a great job of setting up the hunter in their specific realm. So they have a great layering system, and being able to have those set pieces, it makes for a better hunt in a sense that you can shed layers as the day goes on or add more on without bringing an excessive amount of gear. So certain pieces allow you to sweat through, but not have the sweat stick to you. That's their ambient coat, for example. That's a great universal jacket. But then coming into future products for this fall, there's a lot that we'll be seeing, not just with Sitka, but with Zeiss and with Montana Knife Co. that we're also representing, that they're utilizing not just the hunt aspect, but the whole, or not just the processing and the climb and the actual in-camp process. It's the whole part of the, the heritage hunting, the main, your excitement, your drive to actually do it. It's not just the actual 3 days that you're in the field or afternoon.
It's incredible to see what companies are able to come up with. And you kind of talked a little bit about Montana Knife Company, Montana Knife Co. And you would think it's just a knife. I mean, a knife cuts, right? That's all we need it for, right? But they're doing a lot of different blade styles. They're doing a lot of different stuff to make the hunter's job a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, they're definitely, we see a lot more where it's lightweight, but it's also sharp, but it's also going to stand through multiple different animals. Yeah. You're not going to just use it once and then have to resharpen it. Like, I love the Avalon that I have, but I'm only going to be able to use that for part of a big game animal, not even the full thing, where I can use the scapegoat for multiple different stuff. So it's really finding the gear that is going to last a little bit longer. And I know that sometimes they come at a higher price point, but after a certain while, that wool jacket you've been wearing might not last.
Right. Well, you talk about lightweight gear, you talk about better gear, and I'm always of the ilk, like, buy once, cry once. Like, get what you absolutely can. Get what you absolutely can, and you'll have a better experience. Whether you're writing about it, whether you're guiding in the field, whether you're using it on a hunt in Texas, or which you're about to do. I imagine you're probably going to look forward to elk hunting here pretty soon, right?
I maybe not this year, but soon.
Well,
soon.
Yeah, you got other things going on this year that are far more important than hunting, and we all wish you the best.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, I sure do appreciate you guys hopping on with me today. Gear is important, but how you prepare is even more important than that. Like your time before the hunt is where your success in the end will pay off. So Gun Talk hunters, you know the drill. Keep those muzzles pointed in a safe direction and always be on the hunt. Excellent job, guys.